guys. As a first video of the channel, I don't even have like a opening or like an intro. I'm just gonna get straight to it because as you can see on my logo and banner, you can see this champ set that can tell you a lot about who's my main in league. But basically, I just wanted to start the channel with like a little guide with this set. Obviously, I'm not talking from a challenger prospect or not even grandmaster. I think my pick was emerald one, trying to reach diamond, hopefully. I don't want to make like a long guide in detail of what the skills can do because I think everyone knows. But for someone who just start in the game and want to play this character, one of the good points is it is actually fun because you have a lot of TPs. With the ultimate, you also leave a shadow, but we'll get into that in a bit. Start with the first skill, which is Q. Z, as you can see on his back, he has two shuriken. Basically, you press it and you have this range. It can be a bit deceiving because sometimes, depending, quite long hitbox, like very long, like there's a long range and people don't like they think it's like a very short, but no, like look at this range. Like I can hit him from here. But yeah, it's quite higher range. So the good thing is the enemies don't notice that as well. At the range, they never expect it. They really never expect it. If you hit a single target, you do more damage, 165, than hitting multiple targets. So 103, 103. So the ones behind are always going to get less damage. Okay, so after explaining a little bit of what the Q does, we go in to the next skill, which is W. W has many things. First of all, when you throw it, you have this arrow. The longer and further you go, it changes color, so it goes to red, meaning that well, basically you get out of range of your W to TP. Because full cast of the W, you do a TP and you leave the shadow. So wherever your shadow is, you TP. You TP. Wherever it is. Simple as that. Another thing, that arrow, see when it's red here. So people think you cannot TP, but you actually do. It has a lot of range. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, still on red, because red means you cannot do a TP. Reach here, and it's red. You can, but you can here, and it's still red. So just take that in consideration. Even if it shows red, you still have like a little margin that you can TP back. Next one, which is E. Simple slash, 74 damage. Just a simple E. Why is that like players who know how to play Z do a lot of damage just by just like an E and a Q? Okay, so the E is mainly used to cancel your auto attack. So you have your normal auto attack, and what Z's players do is use it with your auto attack all the time. So you don't lose time basic auto attack. So you're not losing time. So you're doing that extra damage. So instead of doing 87, 260. I mean, I have Conqueror, so that can affect, but obviously that is less damage than that. Yeah, of course. The passive. I didn't want to talk about the passive yet because with his E, that's the perfect combo. Basically, when the enemy has less than 50%, you basically do extra damage. It's like a different animation just to distinguish from it. So Z's passive is kind of the same. So when you drop 50%, it's gonna attack. It's a different animation, even though they leave this for people to know that you cannot apply again your passive. You can spam it with the jungle, but you cannot spam it with an enemy champ, basically. So that's why Z is playable in jungle. It has a very good clearance, but even though this is more for mid lane, because I don't really play jungle. And now we're gonna do passive attack with the E. And that's a lot of damage. A lot of enemy players, they don't expect that because it's like your E doesn't really do damage. It's used for other things that we're gonna come now into it. Yeah, so like people don't expect that extra damage that you do with your passive. So keep in mind, always cancel your auto attack with your E whenever you have it. It's good for farming as well. Just try to use it to cancel your auto attack animation. Now ultimate. So Z throws to him, it becomes untargetable, and it leaves a mark into the enemy. That mark is very important because when you do enough damage to kill the enemy, it leaves a shuriken on his head. Let me do it. See that shuriken on top of the head? That means if the enemy doesn't heal up or has a shield, that enemy is gonna die. That's basically what it means. So when you ultimate, make sure if you really want to kill that character to leave a shuriken. It's basically like Yona's E. So you leave a mark, like I said, and when you do enough damage, you leave a shuriken, which means that enemy champ should die unless it gets healed up or shield up. So now we're coming back to Shadow, the W. Obviously, it's not only to TP, but also your Shadow imitates everything that you do. Well, not everything, just your skills, your Q and E. But it's just for TP and to copy your Q and E every time. With your E, you apply it slow. So the usual combo to poke in lane is E, has a slow, and you come close a little bit with your champ with Z, so you can hit both Qs, and that does a lot of damage. And even though you're mid lane with the minions on, because you're hitting 2 shurikens, that steals a lot back damage, a lot. If you feel confident and you know you're gonna hit him with everything, so you go with 4. So it's W, E, Q, and auto attack. And with his E, not only does it slow, so like I said, you can use your W, hit both Qs, and do a lot of damage. But I think that a lot of people don't know. So my E does 78 damage. Obviously, if I throw it with my Shadow, 81 because of my Conqueror thing. Let me reset it. 78. Okay. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my E with myself and W and hit both to the target and look at the damage. We're seeing 78, and I don't have Conqueror. And I'm going to hit both now together. 78 still. So yeah, a lot of people don't know if you hit the enemy with 2 E's, yours, and the Shadow, it's not going to deal extra damage. It's just going to be flat. But it applies a bit more slow. So I think instead of 20%, it goes to 30. So I slowed normally with 20% and then 30. If you hit both E's, you don't do extra damage. Another thing with your E and W, as you can see, the cooldown, if I insta go, is 19. Is 19. But if I hit my E with a champ, it goes down every time. Every time it goes down. So that is very, very important. The same thing with 3 targets. Look at the cooldown. Basically, I have it back again. I can just do this and I have 10 seconds instead of 19 or 20 that you start off. So it's very important. So the more targets, the quicker you're going to have it. With your ultimate and W, you can throw 3 shurikens, and that, like as you can see, you explode the enemy. If you hit 3 kills, just know like 99% that champ is dead. Another thing that I didn't say about the ultimate, so you leave your Shadow behind you. That same thing with your W. But the good thing is with ultimate Shadow, you don't have range. You don't have range. What I mean by that, so like I said before, W, if I go far, even if I press it, I can't go. I can't go back. But the good thing with this, I can go back any range. There's no range in the whole map, like at all. I go here and I come back. There's no range. So it doesn't matter how far you are, if you still have your Shadow active, that yellow thing right now, you always can come back at any point of the map you are in. For example, ultimate to the ADC, a Poppy with his ultimate kicks you back, bam, you're back. Another thing with the ultimate, as you can see, you disappear from the map. You're not targetable, nothing. Unless if you burn, unless if you have like any damage on you per second that is applied on you, for example, like Leandris or any items like that. But skill shots and even point and clicks ultimate, like for example, Vega ultimate, Syndra ultimate, stuff like that. If it's been thrown to you, you can dodge it by using your ultimate. Karthus ultimate also works. You just need to know the timing, basically. Use that an advantage when someone's gonna bow is about to stun you, or use any core control on you, any slow, anything. You can use that as a new advantage to dodge it. Okay, so now we are in terms of building. Mandatory, I'm gonna say. Let me buy. Let me get some money. The mandatory thing for me at least. This item. So this item gives you a shield every time that you hit the champ with 2 strikes. I think it could be anything. Yeah, within 2 seconds. That the only one of the issues is it can be a bit squishy. So that shield is always helpful, and you're always doing like combo. Final mandatory is the beauty of lucidity, because now with these items, what you can do, I think I might be I mean, with the items that I have, of course, in the game, where like if you throw your WQ quick enough, you might have it back again before your W runs, and you can do 2 Qs. So you can throw 4 shurikens in like 10 seconds. Another thing about the ultimate, I forgot. So every time that you throw your ultimate, just know you go behind all the time. Also to know, because that used to be so broken. I hate when they removed it. But basically now, when you throw your ultimate and you leave the shadow behind, you cannot instant go back to it. So there's like a small delay that that blocks you from going back to your shadow. So even if I spam it, there's like 1 second that blocks you from going back. And that back in the day, it was instant. Not all the time you're gonna use your ultimate to kill. Keep in mind that. So anyone like, for example, in Emerald, even in Gold, buying high elos or whatever you call it, when you throw your ultimate to someone, they know you're gonna land behind them, right behind them. So if there's a Soraka on the other enemy team, the silence is gonna be there before you even come out. You're playing against Ari, the E is gonna be there when you come out. Against Yasuo with his Q charger up, you know you're gonna be hit. So it was a big ass nerf for Zed. But what you can do now, now and for always, you can place your W ultimate and use that to go back instantly to your shadow. Go back to the build. Going heavily against tanks, I recommend this. This with your Conqueror, because it's all about stacking. You do tons of damages. If there is like 1 or 2 tanks. If there is no tanks, I recommend you go with this one. Or if they have no tanks, but they do have a lot of healings, you go with the other one, which is this one. Right now, shields are so strong. Lulu is so strong. So this item, if you see one of them, use it. And especially now ADCs are not picking up heal no more and no ghost. They're going with a barrier all the time. This very good as well, especially with your dashes. Well, basically your TPs and your passive. If they have like a lot of annoying CC, I tend to go with this, and then I have my ultimate to become untargetable and be more like hard. This item making you a tank as well, depending on the situation. Sometimes if I'm extra fit, I go with this. If I die, I change it with something else. This is very good as well. You have an active to do even extra more damage. This, if they're like heavily AP, but you still want to go with these boots. I love AD, this one. So yeah, basically that'll be looking your final build depending what you're going against. But with this, you can do a lot of damage. Gives you a lot of damage, like as you can see, without ultimate. So you literally can one-shot someone, because if you're the head in the game and you go bot lane, they're always going to be 2 levels or 1 level down. You can one-shot someone just with this combo. If we add this, like 5k or 5k. The last thing that I could say now, because I'm planning to do the more I keep playing on Twitch, obviously follow me on Twitch. I'll be streaming all these games, not only League but more. I'll be facing all the mid lanes every time there is like actually good game where like it's shown different stuff that I mentioned here. I will do like a guide for each matchup. We'll try to bring every single champion in mid lane. But yeah, so the last thing I was gonna say, like a few of the combos that you can use in specific situations. Zed has a lot of dashes. You have your ultimate, you can go back, you have your W, you can go back or go forward. Use that as an advantage, not only to escape but to do damage before you leave. What I mean by that, let's just say you're facing the mid lane and you did like poking and everything, so it's like 50 HP and he's getting help from his jungle and they both coming towards you. Obviously the smartest thing, and you go back safe. You don't even have to waste flash, nothing. What you can do, leave your shadow there, use the ultimate, apply some damage and go back with your W. Yeah, use your W on your advantage. It's very helpful. What you can do as well is you run out of your W. Obviously on higher levels your W is instant almost. Imagine if you use your E as we talked before. You have 3 enemies on you and you don't have your W, you have your ultimate. So what you can do is, oh shit, yeah, you hit the enemies, you have your W again, get out, easy. So you can leave it there, use that, and you have again, like, and again, that's how useful your E is. Let me do it again. I leave my W there, I hit that, go W, I have W again, and I still have my shadow. I can go back, or back again, and I'm back again. As you can see, I don't have no cooldowns on, no energy on. This is literally, you can do that in a game. You're gonna say, oh, but that's 3 enemies. 1 enemy. You have it in 3 seconds. And you again. If there's anything that I'm missing or should add, let me know. Feel free to say anything. If you have any question, leave a comment. I hope you enjoyed it and see you in the upcoming lives. Thank you.